I'm not afraid to take a stand. Everybody, come take my hand. We'll walk this road together through the storm, whatever weather, cold or war. Said you know that you're not alone. Holla if you feel like you've been down the same road. Oh my God, I feel the pain. That's a video. That's all video. Oh my God. The energy is pungent. The energy is pungent right now. And it's infectious. It is. Holla if you feel like you've been down the same road. Wow. I'm like literally like jittery. Like it's not anxiety and it's not anger. It's peace on fire. Peace on fire, my guy. Oh, I feel like Jesus Christ right now as a consciousness. No, nobody come for me, please, for that. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Also, me being like, oh, don't nobody come for me for that was a wounded. That was like, I'm scared. I don't want to be ousted by society. But we pushed through anyway. Okay, so the point of this video, let's get to it. Like I said, the energy is pungent, and there's a lot going on. This Leo moon, she came here. She did not come to play. She came to take names and to kick ass. It's for a good reason. Something that I am noticing is that with all of the external coming at me, that's how I'm experiencing it. It's like my external world is shadows and all just kind of hitting my face. And then internally, I'm having to face my own non-integrated stuff because we have, you know, a Leo moon. And to me, Leo energy is just all sunshine on everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, the everything. It's a very powerful, powerful sign in energy. But because it's the moon, I think it's subtle. It's not like, you know, we're seeing riots in the streets and big blow-ups and stuff like that. It's more subtle and it's internal. So it's like, for me at least, like little bitty things just be setting me off right now inside, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But within all of the storm, I did find something out that was very cool that I wanted to share. So childhood trauma, childhood wounds. I just went back to my previous place of living, and it wasn't horrible. It was not a horrible experience, but you know, because everything holds a frequency, there was like subliminally, energetically, I walked back into older energy, and my nervous system felt it. There was a situation that kind of showed itself that it was like, oh wow, this is a memory right now. We're going there right now. And I'm processing it. And I noticed after I had left said area, like again with this moon, everything is on blast, like all these subliminal things on blast. I noticed that it was staying with me longer than it had days, weeks prior, like if I had gone to my house or that previous house and then left. The older energies were kind of staying around, and as if I was able to feel it in my actual flesh brain. I saw how widespread, how much area, square footage this wound was covering as far as like my own world. To explain that a little bit better, I was driving and I literally felt kind of like when you see red, you kind of feel the anger in your brain and you feel it behind your eyes. Maybe that's just me, but it wasn't quite anger, but it was like fear. And all the stuff that specific wound brings up, and I was just kind of looking at everything like it was that scenario, that person, that place, that thing, that entity that triggered me or gave me that wound in the very first place, at the root of it, at the very beginning. So call it a really, really, really subtle form of PTSD. It was not all that. It was not like that. But it was maybe survivalistic mentality. And I haven't been in that type of mentality for a very, very long time. I have been in a type of flow state for a very long time. At least it feels like that. And so I think, thankfully, because of that, I was able to realize the shift very soon, and I didn't have to stay in it for very long. What I am very grateful for with this moon, even with all of the woo going on, is that I now can like almost upgrade my powers. I don't know why that is coming up, like that type of metaphor is coming up, but upgrade my powers and in a way take more responsibility for them, because I have now more awareness of them. And by powers, I mean my consciousness, really. So for example, and give you a real life example of that, I'm in survivalistic mindset, and rather than how I would just be able to do like before, I can just be aware of it. I don't really know how to get myself out of it, like literally quantumly, energetically, like transmute the energy. I don't necessarily know how to pull myself out of that state. I just honestly knew how to alchemize the energy and kind of wait until I got out of it, until it was all alchemized and it was like, okay, finally we're done. Now I'm really talking about picking up the person, putting it right there. No alchemy, no nothing, just boom, 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 just quantum leaping, basically on cue. I didn't know how to do that. I now do know how to do it, or I have a semblance of something, of an idea of how to do it. And it's definitely because of this moon putting me in the situations, but also like the light of it, the light of Leo and the sun to like just illuminate all the things that we can't see. So I am very grateful for that. How I kind of did the quantum leaping, I guess is what I'm calling it now, is I noticed how far reaching this mentality, this perspective was, this survivalistic perspective. And I literally visualized pulling it back, literally bringing the perspective closer and closer and closer into me, so it wasn't stretching so far out. So if I was still in this mentality, I'd be like, oh wow, that person over there triggering me, or like, oh, that light is just too bright. It's triggering me. Something like that. Futuristic like events would also cause me a lot of anxiety, and that's just for my particular wound. But basically, I pulled it back from the future, from my like general environment, and I felt it all come into me, almost this like weird, it was very like fourth dimensional, honestly. And when it came to my body, when it got all to me, I literally imagined myself just deleting it. Just literally taking, it's almost like like how you hit the eject button and you just go out of the car or out of the plane. That's what it was. I like brought myself back to reality. I realized that what I was perceiving right now was not the reality that I wanted to perceive, and then I brought myself back to Earth in a way. And then simultaneously I took myself off of Earth or out of Earth, and I just went whoop, boop. It was the weirdest thing. And I wasn't blacking out or anything when I say taking myself off of Earth. It was like I genuinely like just rose out of my body and put myself into another body, another version of me, another multiverse soul, version of me who was living the frequency and the life that I wanted to at the time, feeling the way I wanted to at the time. Woo! I also have to say, if there are any mediums, psychics, highly sensitive people out here feeling energy users watching this video that I'm gonna post, like, I don't know if like you all experience it too, but when I am moving through wound energy, as in like traumatic trauma, mental trauma, it feels like I'm trying to move a mountain. And how that further shows up is like my body starts feeling physical aches and pains. To me, I don't see these physical aches and pains as like pain or a dysfunction of my body. It's literally like power. Kind of like earthbending, waterbending, firebending, kind of like in Avatar: Last Airbender, that TV show, right? Let's say, and I'm an energy worker like full time, so, or like holistic practitioner for full time, so like I work with these energy like this every day. But basically, if I get to somebody and the person I'm working on, and I feel like there is like a deep third dimensional like wound that is needing to be moved, alchemized, whatever, done anything with, I'll feel this like ache come over me in a portion of my body, wherever it's located on that person, right? And I've noticed recently that I've had to do less of that with people. I guess we as a collective have just been moving through not really dense energy. I feel like I've been using more fire, so more breathing and more water, probably to cool down fire, which is to me alchemization. To me, I honestly see this as like the collective learning. Like, we're learning, we're moving out of all this hard times, for lack of a better word, this really, really deep ingrained belief system. I feel like I'm meeting more people in the outside world that are in an alchemizing state, not in a I'm stuck state. And I'm not explaining this to the best of the ability. I'm just kind of flowing with what's coming out, because it's not quite I'm stuck. It's not quite, it's not like that type of, it's not a judgment on those people. It's just like the texture of it. It's like like it's like you try to move that. That's a fixed energy. You're gonna have to, yeah, you're gonna have to do something on it, jackhammer it. Yeah. I do feel like with this Leo moon, there's a lot of jackhammering that has gone on. It wasn't at the beginning of it. We were in a water type element for a while, and I do feel like that was because we were transitioning, or we had newly transitioned to a new world. And yeah, and like now we're rooting in the new world. Let's put it that way. We're definitely rooting in it. And when I think of rooting, I think of a tree. As it expands its roots, it needs to come in contact with things like rocks and other trees and old roots, maybe, that it, I don't honestly know if this happens, but like, say a root fell off, it was an old root, it like has to get around this old root or whatever. I would really love to know if like they just shed their old roots. It's just under the ground like that, but I don't know. Anyway, with that being said, I do feel like once we start rooting and earth energy comes up, we have to deal with old earth energy, old energy that we've been around. Yeah, anyway, I think that cuts it, honestly. I feel like I'm gonna keep repeating myself, and just talking a lot about this Leo moon. And I think it's really important. I think the shift that we just had was super intense, was super pivotal. And I just, yeah, I mean, I'm just going through it like everyone else. Cheers. Oh, wow, that's actually really good. I didn't think it was going to be good as coconut water. That's like a hit or miss for me. Oh my god, that's actually really good. Okay. Anyway, I've gotten it out of my system. Cheers. Thank you, family, for listening. And if you're going through it too, if you're like, what is happening? You're not alone. And I want to say I'm right there with you in spirit, but I don't, that's like a really casual thing to say. It's more like we're all connected, and you're never alone because we're all connected. And I promise you, I'm probably talking to you in the quantum field or the astral world at some point. Especially if you're watching this video, I be yapping. So, all right, cheers.